Hello, I'm Ben Goldstein. I'm co-author of Evolve, the new adult language course for Cambridge. And I've been to Brazil many times speaking at presentations like this. It's very nice to be here in Sao Paulo again for this amazing Cambridge Day. Well, I think better learning is to do with learning by doing. We often think about learning to speak, but I think we can also change the parameters and think about speaking to learn. What I mean by that is that nowadays we can learn anywhere and everywhere. We can learn incidentally, we can learn formally and informally. And I think because of the digital age, we need to take that into account. So for me, better learning is learning by doing, is learning on the move, 24-hour learning. The main challenges of teaching adults, I think there are a lot of challenges, but I think one of them is that a lot of adults haven't had the same exposure to English as teens have, for example, children. So we need to understand that and we need to be sympathetic to that fact. May feel that their peers are judging them if, for example, if they've reached a certain age and their language proficiency is not fantastic, then they may feel judged by their colleagues. And so I think we need to bear in mind this, we need to get them to overcome that fear of being embarrassed and being judged and create a safe environment in the classroom for them so they can speak and be happy speaking in class. Well, in today's digital age, I think it's very important to realize that adults are very busy people. They're on the move the whole time. They don't have the same amount of time as they used to. But what they do have, they have mobile devices. So I think a good language course for adults these days has a lot of practice that they can do on their devices, that they can do in their free time when they're traveling by bus or train or whatever. And this will reinforce and help the face-to-face learning that they do in the classroom. Yes, my piece of advice, I think, for novice teachers working in the adult segment is to don't just treat your learners as language students. Get to know them as people. Because when they've reached, when they're adults, they've reached a certain age, they have lived and experienced lots of things. And that kind of information is very important in the language class because they may have incredible knowledge about something that would really surprise you. So getting to understand them as people is a great way to make the learning experience in class varied, and it allows different people in the class to speak out. Because very often with adults, it's just the good language learners that participate. But if you think not just in terms of, don't think of your learners just in terms of language proficiency, but also in terms of what they can bring to the class, in terms of what they know. It's extremely rewarding coming to events like this, coming to Brazil and meeting teachers. For one thing, it's very, very interesting to hear what the teachers say about the work that we do, about the materials that we write. That feedback is absolutely essential. Without that feedback, we cannot continue making new materials. And secondly, on a personal level, it's amazing how people come up to me after the talks and they share experiences with me. I've just given a talk in Recife a couple of days ago. I was talking about peer learning, and I was talking about the difficulties of learning a language. And a guy came up to me and said that he started to teach English at the age of 40, and how difficult that was for him because all his colleagues were much younger, and what he had to overcome. And those kinds of stories are so interesting, and it means that what you're doing is kind of relatable. They can relate to it, to what you're saying. And it's similar, related to what I just said. Getting to know people as people and not just teachers is a very rewarding experience. And that's why it's so nice to be here and meet people.